Everyone, this is Preeti Oja and today I am going to teach you a geography chapter number 2, the structure of the earth. Now in your previous classes we have already learned about our earth. Our earth is the third planet in our solar system, and it is the only planet which known to support a life because it has a oxygen and water are present in a proportion that allows a life to thrive. Now in this chapter we will discuss about the interior of the earth and what is the earth made up of. So let's discuss all these sources which gives us information about the inside of the earth. The deepest mine in the world is in the South Africa. Do you know this? And it is about 4 kilometers deep in search for oil. So our engineers have dug a hole about 6 kilometers deep inside the earth. Now it is so interesting. So let's start our chapter. With the help of this figure we can understand the 3 layers of our earth. The first one, it is the crust, mantle and the core. So in this chapter first we have to discuss about the 3 layers of the earth. So let's start. The earth is constantly undergoing changes inside and outside. Therefore it is called a dynamic planet. The 3 layers of the earth are, that is, first one it is crust, then mantle, core. Crust. The crust is the outermost layer of the earth's surface. The thickness of the crust varies from 5 to 8 kilometers beneath of the oceans. It is about 35 kilometers on the continental masses and only 5 kilometers on the ocean floor. The main element that makes up the crust are silicon, Si, aluminum, Al, and magnesium, that is Mg. The main components of the continental landmass. The continental landmass, it consists of silicon, aluminum, and that is the main reason, that is why it is called as the CR, because it consists of a silicon as well as the aluminum. The oceanic crust is called Sima because it is made up of silicon and magnesium. So oceanic crust is made from the silicon and magnesium, and when we are talking about the continental landmass, that it is made from the silicon and aluminum. So that is why the continental landmass is known as Sial, and we are talking about the oceanic crust, that it is called as Sima. And the density of the crust is less than C, that is the density of the crust. The oceanic crust is denser than the continental crust. This is the density between the continental crust and the oceanic crust. Now the second layer of the earth is mantle. The layer below the crust is called the mantle. It is 2,900 km thick. It is mostly made of silicon, iron and magnesium. Silicon SI unit, iron that is Fe, and for the magnesium that is Mg. Its density varies between 3.5 and 5.5 GCC. The mantle consists of the two layers. That the first one it is the upper mantle and the second one it is the lower mantle. And if we are talking about the average temperature of the upper mantle is, that is 870 degrees Celsius. When we are talking about the lower mantle average temperature, that is 2200 degrees Celsius. It means the average temperature of the upper mantle is 870 degrees Celsius, while the lower mantle has an average temperature of 2200 degrees Celsius. Now come to the last layer of the earth, that is the core, and it is the innermost layer of the earth, and its thickness is about 3,500 kilometer. It is made up of nickel, Ni and iron Fe, and thus it is called as knife, because it consists of the nickel as well as the iron, Ni for the nickel and Fe for the iron. So that is why it is called as knife. Its density is about 11 GCC. And the core is divided into the outer core and the inner core. The inner core has a temperature of about 5,000 degrees Celsius, but is still in a solid state. The outer core has a temperature of 3,700 degrees Celsius and it is in molten state. Let's start the rocks and minerals. What are the rocks? Rocks are natural mass of minerals, matter that makes up the earth crust is called rocks. And rocks can be a different color, size and texture. Now here it is, in the definition of the rocks there is written that natural mass of minerals. Then what is the minerals here? Now let there is written that natural mass of minerals. Then what is the minerals here? Now let's discuss first the minerals. Minerals are naturally occurring substances which have a certain physical properties and definite chemical compositions. Minerals are very important to a human. How it is so? Let's discuss the minerals. Minerals are also used in industries iron, aluminum, gold and silver. These are the metallic minerals. And if we are talking about the non-metallic like mica and the sulfur, minerals have a wide range of color, hardness, texture and luster. Here it is an example, two example is given to you. The first one, it is a diamond, which is the very hardest mineral, while the talc is the softest mineral. Now I have already said non-metallic, that is mica and the sulfur. What is mica? Basically mica, it is used in the paints as a pigment extender and also helps to brighten the tone of colored pigments. And the sulfur, it is used in black gunpowder, matchboxes and fireworks, and in the manufacture of the phosphate in the fertilizers, etc. And some of the minerals are used as a fuel such as coal, petroleum and the natural gas. Now after this, let's discuss the rocks are divided into the three types, that is igneous rocks and sedimentary rocks, metamorphic rocks. Igneous rocks are also divided into the two types, that is intrusive rocks and extrusive rocks. So let's discuss one by one. The first one, it is igneous rocks. Igneous rocks are also known as primary rocks. The term igneous is derived from the Latin word ignis, which means fire. Ignis, have you heard na? Ignis, that is fire. The interior of the earth contains very hot molten material, that is called as the magma. When the magma reaches the earth's surface through the cracks or through volcanic eruption, it is called lava. Cooling and solidification of molten magma, that magma which comes out from the interior of the earth, then after that it comes in the solid form, okay, then it is, here it is mentioned there, then it is called as the lava. Cooling and solidification of molten magma either inside the earth, on the surface, result in the formation of igneous rocks. Igneous rocks are divided into the two rocks, that is extrusive rocks and intrusive rocks. Extrusive rock, when molten lava comes on the earth's surface, it rapidly cools down and becomes a solid. For example, basalts and obsidian. These are the two best examples of the extrusive rocks. Then intrusive rocks. Intrusive rocks is also known as the plutonic rocks because the molten magma cools down deep inside the earth's crust. Solid rocks are formed. For example, granite and dolerite. After the igneous rocks, now let's come to the sedimentary rocks. Rocks roll down, crack and hit each other and are broken down into small fragments. And these smaller particles or the small fragments are called as sediments. These sediments are transported by wind, water, etc. These loose sediments are compressed and hardened to form layers of the rocks. These types of rocks are called sedimentary rocks. Example, sandstone is made from grains of sand. These rocks may also contain fossils of plants, animals and other microorganisms. Now here the first question is arise. I have said here that it contains the fossils of plants and animals. Then my question is that what are the fossils? The remains of the plants and the animals. And we can say that the fossils which are preserved of remains or traces of remains of the ancient organisms. It means the remains of the plants and animals which are preserved. Now the third types of rock, that is metamorphic rocks. Igneous and sedimentary rocks can change into a metamorphic rocks under the heat and pressure. For example, clay changes into a slate and limestone into a marble. Let's discuss the rock cycle. What are the rock cycle? The process of transformation of the rock from one to another is known as rock cycle. So let's discuss the rock cycle with the help of this figure. Now this is your magma chamber. When the molten magma cools and it solidifies to become a igneous rocks. And igneous rocks is also called as the primary rocks. And igneous rocks is broken down into the small particles which is known as sedimentary, and these particles are transported and deposited from a sedimentary rocks. When the igneous and the sedimentary rocks are subjected to heat and the pressure, these two rocks are subjected to heat and the pressure, they change into the metamorphic rocks. The metamorphic rocks which are still under the heat and the pressure, it melts down and to form the molten magma. This molten magma again can cool down and solidifies and to form a igneous rock. This process is continuously going on, and that is why it is known as rock cycle. Now let's start the uses of rocks, or we can say that it is the importance of rocks. In the ancient time, rocks were used to make tools and weapons. Rocks are used in construction of the buildings and the houses. Rocks contain some minerals which are the raw material used in the many industries. Rocks contain fossil fuels which are the main sources of energy. Fossil fuels, we can say that fossils already we have discussed. What are the fossils? These are the remains of dead plants and animals trapped in the layer of rocks. This is known as the fossils. Fuels here, it is like your coal, gas, petroleum, etc. These are the sources of the energy. The types of rocks found in an area determine the type of the landform and drainage and soil of that area. Some rocks are sources of precious gems and stones which are used in jewelries. Now you can see these few pictures are there, and which is made from the minerals. Now bell is made from the bronze, and the jewelry, that is the ornaments, which is made from the gold and the silver. And karai, it is made from the iron, and this is the lamp, is basically it is also made from the bronze. Now here two questions are here. One is an activity and another one is a question. Activity, you have to do it on the rock. For either you may draw something on the rock or you may write some positive messages on a rock. And the second question it is, what are the minerals most commonly used in the following objects? Now let's start the keywords. Sial. The continental mass of the crust consisting of silica and alumina is called Sial, and Si for the silicon and Al for the magnesium. Sima, the oceanic crust is mainly consists of silica and magnesium. It is therefore called Sima. Si for the silica, Mb for the magnesium. Rocks. Rocks is a natural mass of the mineral matters that makes up the earth's crust. Sediments, these are the small fragments of rocks. Minerals, these are the naturally occurring substances which have a certain physical properties and definite chemical composition. Now you can see this figure. This is the sedimentary rocks and this is the continental crust and the oceanic crust. Continental crust, which is we can say that it is the Sial. Now and after that the continent ocean, that is Sima, and this one is the oceanic and this one is the upper layer, that is the crust. I hope you all have enjoyed. Thank you and have a nice day.